Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at beta and preview version 1.20.40.20. Now, as I'm sure most of you are aware from Tuesday's Java snapshot, villagers have gotten phase 2 of their trade rebalancing. And I really mean it, this better be the last phase, because if there's more, I'm probably never making another villager trading hall ever again. And I will explain why that is in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and start off with the Cartographer, which in all honesty, he got an upgrade, okay? The Cartographer got an upgrade. So in reality, this one's not bad. It's the next one that's going to make me really just miserable when you stack that onto the one with the librarians that was already established like last month. So there have been the addition of 7 new maps. Now, I do not believe you can obtain them here. No, you do have to trade them. And just like the librarian villagers, these are biome specific. I'll put the chart up on your screen right now, but cartographers in a desert can offer savanna village maps, plains village maps, and jungle explorer maps. Jungle villagers can give savanna village maps, desert village maps, and swamp explorer maps. Savanna village maps, taiga village maps, in plains. Savannah can give a desert village, plains village, and jungle explorer. Snow can give a plains, a taiga, or a swamp explorer. Swamp can give snowy village, taiga village, and jungle explorer. And then taiga can give a plains village, snowy village, and swamp village. Now, if you are wondering, no, they did not remove ocean explorer maps or woodland explorer maps. Those are still there. But they just added more. If you ignore the mess of items in my inventory from leveling this guy up, this is a Savannah Village map. As you can see on the map, there's the little hut image, and we would just move in that direction until we get to the village. Now, I don't actually know how far this out, so if I just move this way for a little bit, am I gonna start appearing on the map? Who knows? But the point is, we would then know that there's a Savannah Village in that direction, and we can go that way to get to a Savannah Village. Now, when it says Jungle or Swamp Explorer maps, that just means it's either for a Jungle Temple or a Swamp Hut, because there are no villages in there. But pretty much, depending on what biome you're in, you can get a map to a different village. In the plains, it says you can get Taiga or Savannah, so let's go ahead and set up one more real quick little cartographer and see what it is that we get. Alright, there we have it. We have a Savannah and a Taiga village map now. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump around to each of the different biomes, and then I'm going to show you guys every single map, because there are a total of 7 brand new ones. I have now collected every single map. There were 7, and what I will note, as you saw in the mini time-lapse, the Explorer maps are definitely a lot harder to find than the village maps. These two, you have to go through a lot of villagers to try and find one. They take quite a bit. I am surprised that the Desert Temple wasn't added as a map, especially when you consider the fact that the Plains biome only has 2 new maps, while every other biome has 3. It seems like they could have added a Desert Temple or something, maybe had the Desert Temple map be only for the desert villagers, and then move the jungle one to the plains. But I don't know. It seems a little weird to me. But here's your typical Ocean Explorer one, your Woodland Mansion. Now this is the new jungle one. I think the Jungle Temple icon looks pretty good. This is the Swamp Hut one. The Swamp Hut looks pretty good, very similar to the Woodland Mansion, but definitely different and recognizable. Plains Village, which is just this village right over here, so you can see what it's like once you get close to it. The icon should stay on the map even once you're there and you fully found it. This is a taiga or spruce village. A desert village. It's definitely different to the other villages, and I think it's really cool the way they did it. They didn't just make some other weird looking hut. Here is a acacia village or savanna, and finally a snowy village. So overall, I'd say these maps look very good, but these changes are the good changes in my personal opinion. The changes that are not so good and make me wonder if I'll ever make another villager trading hall again are the ones they made to the armor. Let's take a look. Alright, so again, ignore the completely messy inventory. I would like to note, upgrading armors is a pain in the bottom, but the big change here is going to be all of their trades. And again, a lot of these are biome dependent, just like the librarians. Mojang just really wants to make us suffer, I guess. But if we go ahead and look in here, down here at the bottom is where the change really is. Now, the iron armor, I think it has a little bit worse enchantments. I don't really remember what they were before. And I will note that the shield, I do not believe shields were an option before. Previously, this was a bucket of lava. And I still see on the graph or the chart, the bucket of lava is an option. And the chart I will put up on your screen in 2 minutes after I get through this. But the big change is right down here at the bottom. Normally, you could buy diamond armor with decent enchantments. You could get like Protection 2, Aqua Affinity maybe. You could get them for like 20 emeralds with decent enchantments for that brand new just started the game. Now, you need diamonds, and they have much worse enchantments. You will never get anything better than a level 1, and you will only ever be able to get 1 enchantment on it, which is incredibly annoying. However, when I bought the stuff, it wasn't for the enchantments, it was just for that early game access to diamond armor, so that I could go ahead and just, beat the dragon, and then I'd get my librarians and I'd put my books on it. But now you have to actually pay diamonds for this stuff. And while that does make sense, I will admit that kind of defeats the point of doing the effort to get this in the early game. Especially since the chart that I'm putting up on your screen right now, the chart shows how the armor is now broken up. So if you wanted full diamond armor, you can't just be in a plains biome, because all you'll be able to get is pants and boots. You'll have to go to a plains biome and either a taiga or a desert, and then you still need a helmet, so you should go to either a savanna or a snowy. But if you go to a savanna, every single piece of armor will always give you Curse of Binding. So it's just all around very annoying and hard to deal with, because you can no longer just set up a quick and easy little camp, get very cheap and easy diamond armor, and then fully enchant it with your librarian books. So all around, do I still recommend making trading halls? Maybe not right away in the early game, but I would still recommend making your librarian trading hall at some point. But do I recommend getting a bunch of armors anymore? No, not so much. Now, there is this one trade, okay? I'm actually kind of excited about this one trade. If we go to a taiga, here we are in the taiga with the tiger villager. I'm going to put the chart back up on your screen right now because I only have 2 of the available trades. But if you look at the taiga, you see the expert diamond armor trim. Now you might see it's just emeralds. You don't get to buy diamond armor for just emeralds. It's not like a special thing. But you can get diamond armor converted. So let me show this to you. This is actually amazing. I really like this. I currently have a full set of diamond armor right here in my hotbar. And I have the option for 4 emeralds, I can turn my diamond helmet into a pair of diamond boots. For another 4 emeralds, I can turn those boots into pants. And now, I started with 1 full set of diamond armor, now I have 2 pairs of pants here. So you see, this is actually really good. And looking at the chart here, the other 2 options are boots. Oh, sorry, we have boots to pants. It's pants to chestplate and chestplate to helmet. So if you get a piece of diamond armor, or you miscraft a piece of diamond armor, and you don't like it, you're going to have to pay a little bit of a fee, But if you get 2 taiga villagers set up properly, you can go from any piece of diamond armor to whatever piece you want. If I accidentally... So this is useful. If I made 4 sets of diamond boots right there at the beginning of the game, and I was in a taiga, and taigas aren't that uncommon, what I can then do is I can turn 3 of those pairs of boots into pants. I can turn 2 of those pants into chest plates, and 1 of those chest plates into a helmet, and get a full suit of diamond armor for, well, only 16 diamonds. Now, that is 8 less than I would have to spend otherwise, but, you know, it's not that big of a discount. But in reality, that is still nice. Now, when you look at the fact that you would be spending 16 to do that, you're probably thinking, well, why don't I just buy it with the enchantments from the other guys? And you know what? If that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do that. If I just look at some of the cheap prices here on the chart, once again up on your screen, you would spend 4, 7, 9, probably about 12 diamonds, which arguably is still better. Such a longer process and so much more annoying to go through to get this. And I'm not saying that the taiga option is better for that reason. I'm just saying all around using villagers, it's going to be a lot more difficult and much more of a pain to do. Anyway, that is actually it for the villager changes here, but there is still a bunch of other changes, so let's go ahead and take a look through the rest of the beta. So first of all, up here in the change log, structure loot has been changed. Now what does that mean? Well, ancient cities will now have a higher chance of spawning with mending books as their loot, mine shafts, efficiency 1 through 5, pillager outpost, quick charge 1 through 3, jungle temples, unbreaking 1 to 3, and desert temples, unbreaking 1 to 3. So if you're an explorer and you like exploring these structures, those books will now have much higher odds of spawning in those specific structures. Next up, wither skeletons now have their own unique sound. Apparently they didn't have their own unique sound already, which, yeah, I don't know how I never noticed that, but they just shared a bit more of a muted skeleton sound. Yeah, that's definitely different. Previously, it just sounded the exact same as a skeleton. When wither skeleton skulls are placed on top of a note block, it will now play that new sound as well. If you remember with 1.20, if you put a head on top of a note block and you then powered it with redstone, it would play that sound. So there you go, that is the new sound now available. The sound for picking up items is now played when using /give. Yeah. That does work, that is a nice change. If we go ahead and grab out some glass bottles, there are now some new things with this. So they will now make a sound when being filled. When you pour out the bottle of water or a potion into a cauldron, it will now make the appropriate sound. There you go, you can hear that, and that should be the exact same sound for any potion. So let's go ahead and grab, how about some strength? Yeah, the exact same sound. Yep. Filling a glass bottle with water or potion from a cauldron will now make the sound. Yep. And then finally, drinking will now emit the proper sound. Little weird, honestly. It's pretty much the same as it was before, but now there's like a clunk at the end of it. When mining Skulk with a Silk Touch pickaxe, it will now not drop XP. Previously, it was dropping XP, and it wasn't supposed to be doing that if you're mining it with Silk Touch. So there you go, definitely not dropping XP anymore. That is good, that is good. Zombie villager curing time is now random. So it can be anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, the same way it is on Java. Alright, let's go ahead and see how long that takes. Players can no longer sometimes clip through blocks when flying with either Elytra or in creative mode. Now, I've never personally really been a clippy player. I think that's more for if you're someone that lags a lot. But I normally don't have issues. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to recreate that issue. But just like running into things, I'm not noticing anything weird happening. So I'm going to say that's good. And it is the same thing for Elytras. So buckets, what's really weird here, now have a delay. If I place down this bucket of water, I cannot instantly pick it back up. You have to wait a few ticks. As you see, I go to click. You even see the bucket move, but it doesn't actually pick it up. It puts it back down. That is because buckets will now have a short delay. You have to wait a few ticks, which, like, 2 or 3 ticks, that's like 0 something seconds. It's less than half a second, but it's kind of annoying that you have to wait a little bit now. Because when I'm making when I'm making concrete, something that I'll do is I'll just quickly place it and then pick it right back up immediately. And I can't do that anymore without making a mess. So that one, honestly, kind of annoying. Also, it's been well over a minute and this guy still is not cured yet. So definitely takes longer than a minute. Alright, there we go. The villager has just cured. That took probably about 4 minutes, to be honest. It was certainly longer than 3. So there's that. Next section here, okay, there are 2 very nice changes. So horses, pigs, whatever it is that you're riding, let me go ahead and put myself in survival. When you take fall damage, the horse or the pig, whatever it is, will be the one to take the fall damage, not you. However, horses in Bedrock Edition are bugged and don't seem to take any damage. It says fall damage is now absorbed by the entity that lands on the ground when mounted and passed on to passengers if the mount dies. So if the animal you're riding dies to fall damage, any more fall damage will hit the player. Now, horses in Bedrock Edition just don't take fall damage. Why? I have no idea. They're just weird like that. But look, if I do slash, it'll take fall damage now, but if I'm riding it, it won't take any. It's just so weird. It's a Bedrock thing. Don't question it. But now, you want to know what's even more interested than their supposed fixing of horses taking fall damage? If you use a boat, you will no longer take fall damage. For the longest time, you've seen people like Dream do a boat clutch in Minecraft Java. Well, guess what? So can you. It works! You don't take fall damage anymore. It's amazing! I remember, I've tried doing boat clutches before. You just go splat, alright? You just hit the ground and you die. But now, this fall, for the record, is 22 blocks. This should be enough to kill a player. Almost, just almost. I'm at half a heart. But yeah, now you can ride down in a boat and take no damage at all. That's amazing. I absolutely love that. So nice. Alright, so next up on your screen right now are just some general changes. I have no idea what most of this means, but the first one, diagonal banner patterns, when you put them on a banner, they would get mixed up. So if we go ahead and grab a banner, and we go ahead and put in our banner with some dye, we can strap on a diagonal pattern. If we go ahead and put this on here, it's going the right way. If we hold it, it's going the right way. Previously, it would get flipped backwards. Why? I don't know. Just Minecraft Bedrock Edition being weird. Other than that, I don't really know what the rest of that stuff means. In terms of basic things occurring, let's go ahead and grab some emeralds and a few diamonds real quick, because this will just be easier to show off this way. Enchanted armor, now, it still shows that glint, but that glint is much weaker. Alright? But its intensity is more noticeable. It'll increase and decrease at random, so it's not consistent. Sometimes your armor will be like moving like crazy, like ah, and at other times it'll just calm down and be like do 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 do. So yeah, it's gonna be a little weird, a little random. The glint, it's not gonna look very purple anymore. It's gonna be much dimmer, but it's going to be a lot stronger in terms of the movement effect, if that makes sense. Other than that, mobs can once again land in 1 block deep water. Rabbits can once again eat carrots. And when I mean carrots, I mean the crop. Like while it's planted in the ground, rabbits can eat your carrots while you're trying to grow them. Apparently, that's a bug. It says it was fixed. That was always a thing, I guess. In terms of vanilla parity, sheep that have been sheared and since grown back wool will now drop wool on death. I guess that was broken too. Foxes will once again pick up items that can be equipped. Closing the inventory on a boat or raft will emit a vibration. Cartographers no longer open. Cartographers, if they're in the Nether, will not offer any exploration maps. So that one I actually kind of want to go ahead and check out. So let's go to the Nether real quick. Here in the Nether, we can go ahead and get a villager, cartography table, bed. I don't know if they're going to need a bed in the Nether. I know I'm not going to click on it, but villagers are kind of stupid, so who knows. We can go ahead and upgrade him here. Normally, there would be a map on this trade, but there is nothing. If we go ahead and get past the glass trade, past the compass trade, past this, there's nothing. He offers banner, and they've always offered the banner globe pattern, so if you didn't know that, that's how you get it. But this is actually a guaranteed way to get the globe banner pattern, because that's the only other option they offer as master besides that Woodland Explorer map. And pretty much normally, you're going to always see that Woodland Explorer map. So if you really want a globe banner pattern, and you can't seem to get it in the overworld, bring a cartographer into the Nether, and then continue upgrading him, or preferably bring an empty villager to the Nether, make him a cartographer, and then continue upgrading him, because he will be forced to give you that globe banner pattern due to not being able to give you any maps. Okay, 2 more changes, bear with me. Zombified villagers now have the correct biome overlays, so if they were in a taiga, they will now actually be wearing taiga clothes. If spawned in a taiga, they won't be dressed as a swamp zombie villager. Why was this happening? I have no idea how that got messed up, but it did. And finally, they changed the default value of respawn radius in the advantage settings to 10. What that means is by default, you could spawn anywhere within 10 block radius of your spawn point when you die. So say there's like a bunch of blocks surrounding your bed and you can't spawn next to it, you can spawn up to 10 blocks away from it now. Besides that, I'm scrolling through technical updates and stuff right now. Do not see anything crazy. I'm looking through all of these non-stop, trying to see if I find anything related to the shaders. Haven't seen anything related to that either. I would like to note, with this being the first 1.20.40 beta and preview, you should go ahead and subscribe, because 1.20.30, the full release, should be dropping within the next 2 weeks. Anyways, this has been quite a long video. I'm quite tired and ready to go to bed. So, this has been Mr. Gaming Aquatic, and I'll see you next time. Peace!